Fans cried over this heartbreaking news. For years, Ben Shephard and his wife Annie have been admired as one of British television's most grounded, graceful, and enduring couples. From his charm on Good Morning Britain and Tipping Point to her quiet strength away from the spotlight, they've often been held up as an example of how love can thrive in an industry that rarely allows privacy or peace. But recently, whispers from those close to the couple have painted a different picture, one that few could have imagined. According to multiple insiders, what began as a series of small disagreements between Ben and Annie slowly evolved into something far more serious. It all reportedly came to a head one quiet evening at their family home in Richmond, where a tense confrontation left both Ben and Annie emotionally drained and questioning what their future might look like. Eyewitnesses close to the family claimed that Annie was seen leaving the property in tears, clutching her phone and car keys after what was described as an emotionally charged discussion. Ben, meanwhile, was said to be pacing the garden, visibly upset, his usual calmness replaced by an air of deep frustration. For a man known for his kindness, empathy, and easygoing nature, this moment seemed out of character, and it didn't go unnoticed by those who know them best. Sources say the argument had been brewing for weeks. The cause? A clash of priorities, career, family, and the growing tension that often arises when two people love each other deeply but struggle to find balance in their shared life. For years, Ben has been juggling an extraordinary workload. Between his early morning starts on Good Morning Britain, his long filming days on Tipping Point, and his various charity commitments, there's rarely been a moment of pause. While audiences see his effortless smile and warmth on screen, friends say the reality is more complex. Ben's exhausted, one insider confided. He never stops. He gives 100% to everything: the shows, his family, his friends. But there's only so much one person can give before something cracks. And according to those close to the couple, that pressure began to spill over into his home life. Annie, who has always valued stability and connection, reportedly felt that Ben was becoming increasingly distracted, always on the move, always thinking about the next project. She missed him, another source said quietly. Even when he was home, his mind wasn't always there. Annie Shephard has always been the calm force behind Ben's success, a private, intelligent woman who prefers to stay out of the limelight. She's often described as his anchor, the person who keeps him grounded when life moves too fast. But even the strongest anchors can feel the strain. Over the past year, Annie's friends say she's been carrying the emotional weight of trying to hold everything together, supporting Ben's career, managing their household, and ensuring their two sons remain shielded from public scrutiny. She's incredibly proud of Ben, said a family acquaintance, but lately she's been feeling unheard, like her emotional needs have taken a backseat to everything else going on. It wasn't one argument, sources stress. It was the buildup of months, maybe years, of unspoken frustrations, quiet sacrifices, and emotional exhaustion. The confrontation that reportedly unfolded that evening was, according to those present, heartbreaking. It wasn't a shouting match. It was two people, deeply in love, but deeply tired, trying to make sense of the growing distance between them. Ben kept saying he was doing all this for his family, a close friend revealed, but Annie told him she didn't need perfection, she needed presence. That's what hit him hardest. After the argument, Annie left the house quietly. She didn't slam the door, she didn't yell. She simply walked out, tears streaming down her face, clutching her keys, and refusing to look back. Ben reportedly stood in the kitchen for several minutes afterwards, motionless. He didn't follow her, not because he didn't care, but because he didn't know how to fix what felt suddenly, terrifyingly broken. The following morning, Annie was seen driving through Surrey, alone, looking reflective and somber. Witnesses described her as appearing lost in thought, her face marked by the kind of sadness that can only come from love in turmoil. Friends later confirmed that she had taken the day to herself, to breathe, to think, to find clarity. Annie's not someone who acts out of anger, the close confidant shared. She left because she needed space. Sometimes love needs room to breathe before it can heal. Ben, on the other hand, reportedly spent the day reaching out. He called, he texted, he even asked mutual friends to check on her. But Annie, still processing her emotions, didn't immediately respond. It's easy to forget that behind the polished smile of a television presenter lies a man who feels the same insecurities, doubts, and pressures as anyone else. Ben's rise through British broadcasting has been remarkable, from his early days on GMTV to becoming one of ITV's most beloved faces. But with success comes sacrifice, and lately, that sacrifice has been time. He once told The Mirror, "The hardest part of this job is missing those little family moments, the ones that happen when you're not looking." Those words, perhaps now more poignant than ever, seem to echo the emotional truth of what's been happening behind closed doors. Despite the heavy speculation, those closest to the couple insist that this is not the end. "They love each other too much to walk away," said one mutual friend. "This isn't about betrayal or resentment. It's about two good people reaching an emotional breaking point and trying to find their way back." Ben, ever the optimist, is said to have told a friend in recent weeks, "I just want to make things right." And Annie? According to insiders, she still calls him her best friend, despite the distance that's temporarily grown between them. Relationships like Ben and Annie's aren't defined by their rough patches. They're defined by what comes after. Those who know them best believe they're already working towards reconciliation, albeit quietly. Ben has reportedly reduced his extra work commitments, choosing instead to spend more time at home and focus on what truly matters. He's realized that fame means nothing if it costs you your peace, one ITV colleague said. Ben's rediscovering that balance again, the same grounded person he's always been. Meanwhile, Annie has been focusing on herself, finding calm in long walks, reconnecting with friends, and reminding herself that it's okay to need space. "She's not angry anymore," said a friend, "just reflective and hopeful." When news of the couple's emotional rift began circulating online, fans across Britain were heartbroken. Ben and Annie have always represented something many admire: stability, humility, and quiet devotion in an industry built on chaos. Social media flooded with messages of support. "Stay strong, Ben and Annie. Love finds its way. Every marriage goes through storms. They'll come out stronger." Even fellow ITV personalities are said to have rallied around the pair, urging privacy and compassion as they navigate this deeply personal chapter. What makes Ben's story resonate so deeply is that he's never pretended to be perfect. He's spoken openly about his struggles with balance, about wanting to be there for his sons, Jack and Sam, while managing the demands of television life. "I'm lucky. I have a wife who understands what this job takes, but it's also my job to make sure she never feels forgotten." Those words, perhaps now more poignant than ever, seem to echo the emotional truth of what's been happening behind closed doors. In recent weeks, multiple sources have hinted that Ben and Annie have been seen together again, walking by the Thames, sharing quiet dinners, and attending a friend's small gathering. "They're not pretending everything is perfect," one friend said, "but they're talking, and that's what matters." A reconciliation may not happen overnight, but those who know them are confident it will come. "They've built something real," another source added softly. "You don't throw that away because of one difficult season. You learn from it. You grow through it." In a world obsessed with appearances, Ben and Andy's story is a reminder that love isn't about perfection, it's about perseverance. It's about showing up even when things get messy. It's about forgiveness, vulnerability, and the courage to begin again.
And perhaps that's what makes their story so profoundly relatable. Because behind every smiling photo, every polished interview, there's a couple just like any other, navigating the beautiful, complicated reality of love. As one close friend put it, this isn't the end of Ben and Annie. This is just a chapter, one that will teach them what really matters. And maybe, in time, this difficult moment will become something they look back on, not with sadness, but with gratitude, for reminding them that love isn't found in the grand gestures, but in the quiet choice to keep going. What do you think about this emotional chapter in Ben and Annie Shephard's life? Do you believe their love will overcome this storm, as so many hope it will? Let us know in the comments below. Your thoughts mean so much. And if you enjoyed this heartfelt update and want more exclusive stories about your favorite